Wow, Dratnos, that's an elite looking transmog that you have. Where did you get that from?
All right, well, we're not 100% sure, but we think maybe the Mage Tower.
Yeah, so basically, for those who don't know, there's been some data mining and speculation for the 9.1.5 PTR that it looks like, with the addition of like Time Walking Mythic Plus and stuff like that from Legion, they are potentially looking to re-add some additional like Mage Tower content and adding in some transmog that is associated with completing the Mage Tower on its like retuned difficulty kind of thing, right?
Yeah, so this is all entirely speculative. It's based on data mining that there are these teleport to Mage Tower strings that have been updated and some tuning to the Mage Tower abilities that have been data mined in this patch, as well as these recolors of tier 20 gear, which we will take a look at as well. But again, we have no idea whether or how this will be implemented. Stuff like this makes it to PTR and then doesn't make it to live servers all the time. But I would say I'm pretty confident that this Mage Tower returning these data mine teleport spells, I think there's a good chance that we will get to play this whenever Legion Time Walking is around. I don't know exactly what form it's going to take, though. And I don't
Yeah,
know if this is the source of the tier 20. Maybe it's from Legion M+, maybe it's from, I don't know, Time Walking to Sargeras or something that we haven't heard about yet.
yeah, but especially it looks like it's ever increasingly from the Mage Tower, potentially because they are also retuning some of the mobs that are inside of the Mage Tower. So at minimum, you may end up just like going back to the Mage Tower. There's also some like weird speculative
Yeah.
cryptic tweets from a Blizzard employee as well. So I mean that is why it looks like it ever increasingly maybe from the Mage Tower. But at the same time, there's some really cool transmog hitting the 9.1.5 PTR, including but not limited to Mage and Paladin.
Yeah.
Um,
These are I think two of the best recolors because they like you get a really nice arcane themed
yes.
version of the tier 20 and then the like Uther color scheme on the tier 20 paladin one, which tier 20 paladin and the PvP versions already both look so good, but this one I think will add another cool look for pallies.
I think the book on the shoulders is always just like a really cool look. Super
Yeah,
useful in many situations. Whereas these
you need to
shoulders look really
consult
good.
the manuscripts in the middle of your dungeon run, see what the route is, just take a look over your shoulder.
Yeah, check the tomes, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
but again, I think this is also like a great arcane set. Whenever arcane is your preferred specialization for mage. Next up, we got shaman. So shaman is this nice green color. Honestly, I feel like this kind of looks way more like a hunter than necessarily a shaman, especially compared to what some of the original colors of the tier 20 looked like. Would you agree?
Yeah, I always felt like tier 6 shaman looked good, but tier 20 shaman I've never really liked the like tweaks that were made to this set. So I'm not really a fan of this green one either. I don't think I would use this on my shaman.
I think that this green one is not doing it for me either.
Also,
Um,
like whatever spec you're playing, you're either casting blue or red stuff out of your hands all the time. So green is like that's just too many colors. I my brain can't handle that many.
Yeah. Next up, Monk. I think this one looks really good and absurd on a Vander. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, I mean, it caught me off guard. The panda version. Yeah, these shoulders are really useful. I think though, in a lot of different mogs.
Yeah.
It's notable here that we're looking at the mythic recolors, and tier 20 armor in particular has some of the most different mythic shoulders from regular shoulders. You can see there the difference, right? You can see how the orb is like out on the mythic shoulders, but then when it switches to one of the non-mythic
Yeah.
tier 20s, when it switches to like a heroic version, it actually looks really different. What they are there, you can
Um,
see that the orb is like still in the shoulder, but the
yeah.
versions we are getting, the versions that have been data mined, they have the orb outside of the shoulder, which pretty cool.
You could look just like this Pandarin as well. It'd be very very thick.
For me, I think is the most exciting part about this is like yoinking these shoulders or a helmet and putting them somewhere else.
Okay, so you're not a fan of like the orange
Uh,
belly?
the orange belly plate is kind of wild. Yeah,
Not a chest, but a belly
maybe that's
plate.
just a Pandaren problem.
Maybe. But I think the shoulders of that look good though. Next up, Rogue. Ooh, I think
Yeah,
I think this looks really good.
I agree. And this is one that looks so different from the green colors of this. So there's tier 20 mythic, and yeah, green. I've used this set a lot on my rogue. That's one of my favorite transmogs, and tier 21 actually, both back to back bangers on the art department out of Blizzard. And then yeah, this recolor is just like completely changes what it looks like,
Yeah.
and I
So
think also looks great.
So it had the green fellfire coming out of it from the original tier 20, and I think like this black smoke coming off of it looks very Shadowlands themed. Could be a nice subtlety set if you're looking to play that.
Kind of like a Shaw touched vibe, but also, you know, like Arctic camouflage. Like if you were a rogue and you wanted to be in stealth, I've always felt like you shouldn't actually be able to be in stealth unless your armor kind of blends in with the terrain. And like if you were in like Tiger's Peak arena, you should need a transmog like this in order to actually be able to go in stealth.
I think that this is definitely one of the better recolors. I think that this one looks really good. Rogue transmog has historically just looked like awesome.
That helmet looks really good as well whenever there's not a dumb, bald male human head popping out of the top of it as well.
They're trying to look like the jailer, dude.
Yeah, that's not working.
All right. Next up, we got Druid. So the Druid recolor, they got this green, which it's like puke green. I'm not in love with this. It could be just because it's on a night elf, but I'm not a fan of this, especially since like the original one was like this like nice brown color, and it also transforms into like it has like this helmet opening, which I think is really cool. But I think that I'm not in love with this green color. What do you think?
Yeah, it's kind of got like Malfurion Storm Rage RP vibes. So if you want to, you know, if you're a male night elf and you want to roleplay as Malfurion, I think this could be a good set for it. But I don't know. I agree. It's not one I would personally use for much, I don't think.
The shoulders and the helmet are actually really cool, especially if you pair them up with other things. So maybe this like color of the shoulders and the helmet could be more useful with other sets. But I was like, just as a set as a whole, I preferred the OG tier 20. I thought that one looked
definitely the OG one goes better on like High Mountain, right? Which is
that's
the premier druid race choice.
All right, next up we got Death Knights.
This is another one that looks kind of silly to me. I don't know. The original versions also, like you can see the blue in of the original tier 20 and the green of this one is they
look like they got stuffed in a furnace.
They do, yeah. It's like it would be really hard to see out of this. You just got these slats coming down across your eyes vertically.
Yeah, they're putting the knight in Death Knight. They're really making you RP with those like old timey slats through your face. I do think that like the color of this,
it is cool. Again, I think this is like yoinkable shoulders for other transmog sets, but the rest of it, I don't know.
I think that chest piece is also yoinkable. I don't know. I really like the green skull that's in the middle. I think that hat is absurd though, with the horns and the like bars that cover your face. I think it's just ridiculous. All right, Hunter. And I guess if you want to look like N'Zoth.
Yeah, N'Zoth vibes for sure.
Certainly could be one.
This would have been good back when we had corruption and we were all, you know, had just purple gunk on us as well. This set would have worked really nicely when you were like 60 corruption or more. I guess not when you were red glowy, when you had that much corruption, but when you were like heavily purple glowy with corruption.
And these are some of the old colors of the of like the old mythic sets and whatnot. And this is the old OG one.
This is definitely better than that. That was an ugly tier set.
This one's definitely better than that. I think that this one is hard to use just as a whole. Just because of that big ass eyeball that's in the middle. Although I'm sure you could.
I think this would go well with like N'Zoth gun. That transmog would probably fit pretty nicely. So
yeah. If you're trying to become one with N'Zoth, I think this is really not a bad set. I don't know if it'd win an Asmongold transmog competition though.
Yeah, you can't use a full set to do that anyway. You have to mix and match.
True, of course. Things that would win an Asmongold transmog competition. Warrior.
This is so good looking. I love this this mog. I loved the green version as well.
Look at the green version.
It went really well with one of the artifact weapons that you had as like an arms warrior. You had a nice green sword that went with that. But this one up here, this new recolor, is I think fantastic. It shares some color palette with the like 2000 rating elite armor from PvP version of this set, but it's still I think this is like a really good looking one. This is one of the ones I think I'm most excited about.
I think this one goes with like the paladin and mage recolors as like some of the best
top tier. Yeah.
I think that I do genuinely think that this warrior one is really good. Maybe that helmet is like less usable for similar reasons. The DK one was kind of silly, although the recolor on this whole entire set, I like that red yellow vibe. silver color palette. I think they did a really good job with this one. Next up, Priest, which
yeah, Shadow Priest vibes.
This is a great shadow set.
Yeah.
This shadow set, I mean, even the OG tier 20 set this is very commonly used for like Disc and Holy Priests, and I think that this recolor in this purple, it really just screams Shadow Priest to me.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Shadow Priest, right, is you're always in shadow form anyway, so the colors kind of all get washed out. But if you ever are not in shadow form, this one I think looks more shadowy than the other ones did in a really good way.
Yeah, sure. I think I agree. I think this one looking pretty good. Maybe not so much on a dwarf, but
nothing looks good on dwarves.
Dratnos hater of dwarves. Warlock, though.
Oh my goodness, with the wings out. So this has always been an iconic tier set, right? If you scroll down to like the original tier 20, but here's what the wings look like when they're coming out.
This is sick.
I think that this is probably the one where it's just the strictest upgrade on the original colors as well. To me, the red.
This is the OG.
So good. Yeah, this was the green that like a lot of people use this and it looked good, but I think full red for this is especially good looking.
Yeah, I really do like this. Well, I think that this red is like a strict upgrade over the green, and honestly, you can make this red work as any specialization. Like we talked about.
This is a Venthyr Warlock Mog.
Do not tell people to play that. Stop that right now.
Dude, Venthyr Warlock, it's so good and cool.
Said nobody ever. All right. Also, absolute banger. I think that this is one of those ones that's up there with that Paladin Mage.
I think this might be the best of them, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Demon Hunter. This is looking very Illidan-esque. I think that this is like a pretty good homage to like Legion Demon Hunter. Like that fell green was very rampant inside of the expansion.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like the original though. Is the biggest takeaway I have from this.
It does. Yeah, it's like a slightly different other set of colors around the green. I did not like this tier set the first time. Really, I've never really liked any of the Demon Hunter tier sets though. I think that the Demon Hunters have cool Warglaives, and then it's really hard to find Demon Hunter specific armor that I like personally.
It's so easy to just look like a rogue as a demon.
Yeah, that's what I do. Is I just wear rogue tier, like the rogue off pieces that have the same appearance as rogue tier.
So what Dratnos is telling you is, if you were an aspiring demon hunter, just go and get this rogue transmog and transmog.
I don't think you can get that color though. I think you have to settle for like one of the original recolors because you're just getting it from the off pieces in the raid.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. That's unfortunate. So yeah, never mind. You can't even do that.
Yeah, but the original, like if you've got green Warglaives, then you can run the green version of the Rogue tier 20, just mythic leather off pieces with that appearance. It works.
Yeah, so that's actually all the classes. I think big winners probably Paladin, Mage, Warrior, Warlock. Right?
Yeah.
I think the rest.
I agree with that.
The rest I could probably go without.
The thing is, though, it's to some extent is subjective. Like, I think a lot of people will look through here and have one or two they like. Hopefully, it lines up with the class you play.
Yeah, the Shaman one, green.
Yeah, the Shaman. I mean, I don't think the Shaman one's actually bad. It's just like not colors I would
pick for a Shaman. Right? Yeah.
Maybe if you're like an Orc Shaman, I don't know.
Ooh, true. If you're already looking like Thrall.
Yeah.
All right. So the last thing that we had to cover today was not transmog related. However, it is. I guess you can get some transmog from Torghast related, and they're increasing soul cinders, and you get full rewards on repeat cinder farming. Correct?
Yeah. So right now you get 0% of the soul cinders and 20% of the soul ash on a second run of the same floor. In patch 9.1.5, you will get 100% of the soul ash and 100% of the soul cinders from a second run. So you could just, instead of needing, effectively the time gate is gone from legendary acquisition. You need to run 2 or 3 layer 12s whenever you want. They don't have to be in different weeks. And it's only 2 or 3 now as well. It's not like 6, because if you look at the PTR values of the amount of soul cinders you're getting from each of these, it is a lot.
Yeah. And I think that this is going to help people be looking to like create like a bunch of legendaries for alts. This is more in line with the theme of 9.1.5 is a great alt catch-up patch, where this is one of those things that you are going to be able to farm as many legendaries realistically as possible. You're also gonna have legendary recycling. We talked about that a little bit last week. Legendary recycling looks fairly promising with you being able to get back a bunch of the resources. it's going to cost you a lot of gold, right? If you want to craft a bunch of legendaries, I don't think it's going to reduce the price on like how much the legendaries cost. But at the same time, it's going to be nice to be able to just like dedicate one day, 1 week, and then just slam farm straight through Torghast.
Yeah, another thing that's not in this article but was also data mined was you can get credit towards rescue lost souls from Torghast in 9.1.5.
That's cool.
So you want, you can build you all the way up to your tier 5 buildings instead of waiting 10 weeks of rescuing 20 souls in the Maw, which you forget about because,
I don't care to do that.
Yeah, but you'll do them in Torghast, right? So nice. I think this is another huge sign that they're moving in a good direction with the game for like alts and also just every main characters as well. If you didn't play from the start of the patch every single week doing all of your checklist.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's going to be it for us today. Down in the comment section below, I want you guys to tell us what is your favorite transmog and why Dratnos and I are dumb for flaming the Death Knight one in particular.
Yeah. Let me know what you think about, male human bald heads, dwarves. If I've been way off base on my positions on those sorts of things.
Male human bald head. Look at him. Look at him. I think that's gonna be it for us today. I hope you guys all have a great day. Later.